Hey, I'm Captain Eddie, and I'm having a ball. Well, I will have a ball, yes. I'm going to be in the shop today making a ball. I've had a lot of fun with balls before. Take a look at this one. Called it the Harahan Little League because it was out of a beam of a house that was built 100 years ago in Harahan. Still smelled like turpentine. Then I made one I called My World on a Spring. Look, it's pretty cool. I had a lot of fun with it. And you can too. This is going to be my puzzle ball. I haven't decided whether to pierce it like a puzzle, burn it like a puzzle, paint it like a puzzle. But I got a ball and it's puzzling. Okay, enough of these cheap puns. Wow. I want to make a ball. And I did one and I posted on one of the forums that most of the English and Australian and other guys said, hey, how'd you do that? So I'm going to show you. The last half an hour ago or so, I've spent a bit of time making up some jigs and things that we're going to need to make this ball. And I did a little lathe maintenance. I cleaned off my tool rest. I cleaned the bed of my lathe off and I put a light coat of oil on it. I do like the WD-40 for that because it's convenient. It comes in a squirt bottle. I'm lazy. But that's going to keep the glue and the stuff and everything else from sticking to the lathe. Oh, the tool rest, real critical, because a bump on your tool rest makes a bump on your piece. Alright, so I made a couple of glue blocks, and this is just out of some 2x lumber I bought from a cabinet maker. It's black walnut and mahogany, and I had some oak and some other stuff, just blocks, and I made glue blocks. Once I do this, when I set up the cutout glue blocks, again the laziness comes in. I'll make 5, 6, 7, 8, put them in a box below the table, and whenever I turn for a glue block, which is better than using wood for holding wood, when I go to turn for wood blocks, then I've got one ready. Also made, this is for my revolving center. I used a 3/4 10 machine tap because I have a one-way revolving center. Now, other manufacturers are copying the same technology as One Way had, with the 3/4 10 thread on the end of their revolving center. So this 3/4 10 tap you can buy in a hardware store or a machine supply place near you. But shop around, machine supply companies can get $15, $20 for what a hardware store gets $9.95. Hanson, American manufacturer named Hanson, Hanson, has one in their common display. Alright, I drilled it, so I drilled 8 or 9 of them. I tapped it, I tapped 8 or 9 of them. I put some super glue in there to firm up the threads. I sprayed it with the accelerator after an hour or so because I don't want to lose a tap to a piece of wood. And then I re-tapped it to make it clean. Just for safety's sake, I put a little dab of wax on it, sanding wax, before I threaded it on. You'll see all this. But that gave me a cupped revolving center. And it's going to be critical when I start finishing the ball. And I need this later on. It's almost the last thing I need. But these two pieces are going to be critical when I'm turning the ball. And I get into having a ball. I told you I'd stop that, didn't I? I get into having a ball. I don't want to stop. Oh, layout's important too. So we're going to go to the bandsaw, lay out the block, get it ready, glue it up, and one more. Have a ball! Watch.
I start off with a piece of 3-inch stock. It was exactly 3, and I wanted to go the other way, exactly 3. Now, I do not want to cut this in end grain. That would be ugly and really hard to work with. So I slice off a piece of this block. Then I decide where I'm going to do my grain match. This is critical if you're dealing with highly figured woods or whatever. I sawed it exactly in half, and then I put it back together again. Why? Because I sawed it the wrong way, and it has to be a block sitting half the thickness off. I already put one glue block on dead center. Now I'm going to turn it back around the other way using some medium thick super glue. I'm going to put this on. Now I put the blue tape around it to put the joint back together. Then I end banded it, and all this is going to go away in less than 5 minutes. But now I twist a little bit to make sure I'm not askew, because you can glue this crooked. And I make sure it runs nice and true. Now, that's as good as I can get. When I make the ball, it's going to be grain match. Now, this is a template I made for the inside of the ball. It is 1/16 of an inch in radius smaller than the ball I'm going to turn, just to give myself an idea of what I'm going to end up with. Now, I'm going to put this up. I took the corners off a few minutes ago because I don't like spinning square stock. Now I've got the RPMs up at about 3,000 RPMs. I'm going to put this up and kind of get a visual reference of where I'm going to hollow this piece to. It's really bad if you go too big and you don't have enough wall. Remember, the inside diameter can never exceed the outside diameter. Alright, now I have it and I'm making these cuts. This stick I have on here is so you can see what happens to the gouge when I start. Watch this. I am almost vertical with the flutes. I start down and I roll the gouge open as I go down so the cutting edge stays in contact with the piece. I hear a lot about catches. How to avoid catches. Watch. We're going to come to the outside and I'm not going to change the angle, and I can slide along that bevel. I'm reading the bevel just like I would a skew or anything else. I'm reading that bevel and I'm taking the smallest cut I can. Watch. A cleanup cut. See that? Now I didn't have to readjust. All I did was pull back, feel it again, and take the bump off. That's what I'm doing, cleaning up the bottom. Thing be so slick. That's all cuts, no tears. I don't like to go in and cut back out. Now here's my template back inside the end piece. Perfect contour. That will give me a ball about 2 3/8 inch diameter. That's my end piece. Now I'll flip down on the other side and see what's going to happen over here. Here's the magic this time. I'm back up at 3,000 RPMs. No center rest up against it. I'm going to take really light cuts with my Ellsworth, my 1/4 inch Ellsworth at that, and reduce the outside edge of this piece. Then I'm going to gently start shaping it like the ball. I'm going to set my dividers. Notice I've ground the tips off so it doesn't dig into wood and leave heavy marks. I'm going to open it up to maybe 1/8 of an inch, go down and see how it feels, go down again, until I have a perfect 1/16 inch thick wall. Now I've got a piece of corian with a piece of flat sandpaper on it so I can true up that edge. If I true up that edge when I glue them together, it's going to be just right. Now that's one side. Nice cup, huh? Alright, now I'm going to turn another one just like it. And then I'm going to put them together. And here I am. I changed from my spur to a soft tip. And that is so I don't push this thing to a phony center. I've got some Wellwood or white carpenter's glue joining these two pieces together. That way I don't get a line. If I do this with super glue, I'm going to get a line. So I'm going to do this, glue it, take it out the lathe in about an hour, and let it rest overnight. And I'll put it right back tomorrow and check the true up again. I'm also going to roll it a little bit, just a little, and make sure the joint is lined up. And I'm going to get a perfect grain match. I'm going to look for my marks to get me that grain match again. And I'm just going to go together, and then I'm ready to start phase 2 of turning this ball out. Now this ran a little bit longer than I thought, so I produced a phase 2 or part 2 on how to turn a spear. We're going to pick it up from where we left off with the pieces glued together again. So catch the other video and then get out in the shop and turn yourself a ball. Hey, if you want some of those tip sheets I had, they're still available. Email me at this address and I'll be glad to send them along to you. If you got any questions, same address, same place. Hope I can help you.